What is going on, everybody, on here? And I rarely do midweek TCG updates, but there's been so much news that hit yesterday and today. I just feel like I have to do a video. And this is super, super important. And quite honestly, it's some of it's a little game changing. So that being said, let's start off with Pokemon. So I did this video earlier today. Found out from folks who are not in the distribution chain. They may or may not be on the other side of the fence, that there is going to be a Mega Evolution 7.5 set. Hasn't been spoiled anywhere, hasn't been released anywhere. For those of you who are used to Pokemon, there is a year end. It's called a high class set for all the people that don't know what that means. It's called high class in Japan because it's more expensive. It's for the higher class of individuals in most Asian countries. You have a class system where you have poor people, middle class people, rich people, whatever. In the US here, we all want the best shit. So it's a completely different world in the West than it is in the East. But the term high class just means it's more expensive. But it's prismatic evolutions. It's Ascended Heroes. So this year, I wasn't sure if we were going to get one because when I believe 151 came out, I don't think we got a specialty set that December slash January. So I wasn't sure. It looks like since this one is 7.5, Mega Evolution 7.5, it looks like there may be a flip flop of sets. And the reason I say that is the Pitch Black set that comes out in July in a normal year would be the September set. So they are accelerating the September set, and the normal specialty set that would come in July or August is being pushed back to September, presumably just so they have more print time. My initial thought was that with 30th anniversary coming in September, they wouldn't do a specialty set in January in English. But it looks like they're going to do a specialty set now. Since it is ME 7.5, we have Mega Evolutions 5, which is July. We have Mega Evolution 6, which is presumably Emerald Storm. In November, that will be the November slot, which means Mega Evolution 7 is going to be the March slot in 2027. Now, what I think is going to happen personally, this is just my opinion, I think that first set in 2027, the first standard set, is going to get pushed back to early February, maybe even late January. And then the specialty set is going to come out somewhere in the March, April timeframe. So they're going to transpose, no different than they transposed Mega Evolutions 5 and 30th anniversary. I believe they're probably going to transpose the first standard set in 2027, which is Mega Evolution 7, and the specialty set, which is Mega Evolution 7.5. So I don't know any information about it. All I know is that they are prepping to start printing. So that being said, we did run our sale tonight on the first part of our illustration collections, series 2. We sold the cases a little bit 2 per sub. I probably should have backed it off to 1, but we did 2 anyway. I had 290 cases, I think we sold, which is a pretty healthy number. We sold them for $249.99, which, market's probably going to settle somewhere in the $4 to $450 range early on. It may dip into the $3s at some point, but a really good value in my opinion. So that's what we have for Pokemon. Now let's move on. We're going to touch on One Piece. We're going to touch on Magic the Gathering. We're going to touch on a lot of stuff that we've been waiting for information for, and it all just kind of came out at the same time. So we also have this Bandai announcement tomorrow that everybody seems to think is going to be a Naruto TCG. We'll see. I honestly have no intel. I just don't know. So Magic the Gathering. So we did start to get allocations in for The Hobbit. And it looks like the print run of The Hobbit is reasonably on par with Marvel superheroes. I know a lot of folks out there were scared to death that this was going to be way over the top. there was going to be a shit pile that's printed. Now, it does look like the collector boxes are a little bit more by a few small, low single-digit percentage points. The same with the play boxes. I will tell you that the bundles do appear to be normalized. And if anything else, they probably have overprinted the bundles. That is presumably why they have so few for Marvel, because they've been using the print time for the Hobbit. So I think the fear of them massively overprinting the Hobbit is probably unfounded at this point. But then again, they could be holding a lot of this stuff back for Amazon, which they most likely are as well. So in addition, we did get some updated print run news, reprints for the year. What's interesting is we have Foundation's Jumpstart, Foundation's beginner boxes, starter boxes, whatever those are, Avatar Jumpstart, Avatar Play, Spider-Man Play, and we have a couple weird things like Turtles Team Up is available from Wizards Warehouse, and then we have, I think, the Lorwyn and the Strixhaven, the 8-pack theme decks are available, but that's all that's available to order direct from Wizards right now. So MH3's sold out. Most of you guys know that already. There was a question as to whether Assassin's Creed Beyond boxes, Beyond boosters, whatever, were sold out or not. My understanding is there were some orders placed from distributors, and then Wizards said, yeah, we don't have the product. I don't even know how that happens. How do you solicit shit if you don't really have it? But it is what it is. What I do know is that Lord of the Rings set is confirmed for Q3. Fallout Commander decks are also confirmed for Q3. I know I talked about this one previously, but it does look like the timeline's tightened up a little bit. Final Fantasy Play still Q4. That has not moved. Final Fantasy Commander displays and starters just hit distribution. Again, I missed this one. These are orderable from Wizards Warehouse. There will be a point in time where it's time to start accumulating Final Fantasy Commander displays. That time is not now because we're just going to be flooded with them. In addition to that, let me pull up my notes real quick. I don't want to share the information because there's just too many fucking sites that steal it at this point. So I'll just speak to it. Here we go. Yes, so the Ixalan, Wild, and Phyrexia all will be one that hit Mexico distribution recently, is kind of gone. And I don't know if it's gone because they just scrapped it, or if it's gone because it's already en route and there's no need to talk about when it's coming or if it can be ordered because it's on its way to distribution. So if that's the case, we'll see it over the next 3 to 4 weeks. That being said, it does look like we're going to potentially get a reprint of Modern Horizons 3 again. I know if there's a lot of groaning there because that's a pain point. That was a middle of 2024 set. So technically, it's still fair game. I mean, everything's fair game, but Foundations Play, Edge Play, Lorwyn Play, Strixhaven Play, Edge Commander, Lorwyn Commander. But what's interesting is we don't see Karloff, we don't see OTJ, we don't see Duskborn, and we don't see Bloomborough Play. So Bloomborough Play, presuming it doesn't get reprinted and it does rotate out in February again, unless they change the rules. As of right now, it's not on the list. Doesn't mean it doesn't pop back on. It doesn't mean it doesn't become a Q1 thing. But I thought that was very, very interesting. And again, you can't share the information. You can only get it if you listen here. So, again, fuck all the people on Twitter who like to steal the shit and share it around and don't give references. They can all go fuck themselves. So, all right, next. I apologize. My allergies are killing me here. In the Northeast, it goes from 50 degrees at night to 85 during the day, and it's a nightmare. Weiss Schwarz, we did talk about this on Sunday. Nikke Volume 2 in English is going to be the first set, I believe, in the history of Weiss that is going to have autograph rares / serialized cards in English. Now, Azure Lane Volume 2 did have serialized cards, but they did not have the on-card ink autos. It just had the stamp auto. So that is something to pay attention to. Unit Arena, I do want to mention this because we do have the slime. Is it slime? I don't even know what these sets are. They're so freaking often. It's not even on here. Yeah, Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which comes out next Friday. This is the first set that, if we click on this, it does say brick and mortar exclusive or restricted. So backpack sellers, online sellers cannot get the product. It's going to be super interesting to see how it performs. The boxes are sitting at like $140. And I say that because Unit Arena was kind of garbage product for a long time. Bandai's tightened the belt on this between pushing organized play, pushing brick and mortar restriction, and we've really seen a market improvement in the price performance of the individual boxes, which is great. But it's worth paying attention to. I will mention with Gundam, I had a couple comments about my Gundam video saying, well, Anon, if they reprint, then that throws your theory here, your concept, investment thesis really out the door. I will tell you with 100% certainty they're not going to reprint any of the Gundam sets. I've spoken to the folks at Bandai multiple times. They like where it's going. I'm sure they wish that the product had a little bit more value, which it's coming. They are not going to pull a One Piece. They got kicked in the balls so hard with One Piece when they reprinted. They will never make that mistake again. So might be a trust me bro moment, but it is what it is. And then the last item I want to talk about, because this is the most important one, OP-17. Went too far. So there was a lot of concern that with OP-17, the print runs would get absolutely blown out, absolutely through the fucking roof, because you have Southern and you have PhD. It does not look like that's going to be the case. Now, I cannot confirm or deny whether the purchase orders for GTS and Universal have been cut. I personally don't believe they are. I fully believe that there's going to be a lot of this product. But I will tell you that the amount that PhD and Southern are getting is a very, very modest amount. It is nowhere close to what most people would think this is. And again, I think I mentioned, and I'm not going to go there. So the massive product dump of OP-17, I think, again, is unfounded just based on discussions that I've had, probably with myself. So there's not a whole lot to fear with OP-17. I know I've made the comment where it's, in my view, it's probably 2 to 2.25 times the print run of a normal set. I'm going to stick by that. I mean, I think I've been reasonably correct the entire time. Quite honestly, pure luck. But it's very, very promising news that Bandai continues to be restrained in how they're printing this stuff. And then the last item, this is just I do want to talk about Godzilla because I haven't seen anything published on the game, and Bandai tomorrow is going to come out and announce a new game that they're carrying. Wouldn't it be something if it was Godzilla and all of these early boxes went to like fucking $3,000? Most likely not going to happen. I just thought that was kind of cool. So anyway, guys, gonna post this. It's probably the most important information you guys have gotten in a while from me. So like the video, subscribe, join the Discord. Have a good night.